New Jersey warriors, grit and grind. Build back what we had, ain't no we find. Make America great again, fist to the sky. We start a family, we gon' rise high. Sweet feelings don't need no disguise. We live it loud, we ride or die. Jersey Shore, we got the fight. Stand together through the night. America first, raising the flag. We ain't never gonna lag. Stone cold hearts in the land of the free. Galvanized truth, just you and me. Freedom ain't cheap, gotta hold tight. In Jersey Shore, we'll win this fight. No more tears, just righteous pride. In the streets, our spirits reside. Unity strong, we walk this line. One big voice, it's our time. Jersey Shore, we got the fight. Stand together through the night. America first, raising the flag. We ain't never gonna lag. Just righteous pride. In the streets our spirits reside. Unity strong, we walk this line. One big voice, it's our time. Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore we reclaim the land. Grit and glory in every strand. In Jersey Shore we make our stand.
Welcome, everybody, to our third episode of the Jersey Shore podcast, SURE, that is. I had a monologue written that I was going to talk about. I'm probably going to save it for next week. I'll go into it in a little bit, but after the latest news of another assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump, I think that that's the most important news to talk about right now, and where we're at in society. So I'll just read a little bit of my monologue, and then we're going to go into that because that's the most important thing to talk about right now. So let's say our usual co-host Jennifer Sharman won't be in for the next 3 episodes because she was arrested. Apparently, it's illegal to steal tampons out of boys' bathrooms. Great job, tampon Tim Walz. Obviously, I'm joking. She's on today's her son's birthday, and she's going to be on vacation. So my lovely wife Heather is filling in for her. So I just had to throw that tampon Tim joke out there because it had to be. So that's it. As far as I'm going to go with a monologue today, because I can't believe that there was another assassination attempt on Trump. And you know why? Because of people like tampon Tim, like Kamala Harris, like Joe Biden, that paint him to be a racist, orange Hitler, a threat to democracy, and the media run on it all the time, and they keep pushing out there over and over again. It took like 3 days after he got shot the first time until the media started ramping the rhetoric up again. I mean, they gave him at least 3 days. Man was shot in the ear, almost died. And then, so by the way, my T-shirt, I just wanted to stand up for that because we're in a fight. But again, they gave him 3 days before they started attacking him again. So no wonder why somebody tried to shoot him again. I mean, when is it going to stop? When is this country going to come together? When are we going to stop being so divided by politics? Now, like I said before, I think it was last episode, I have a friend who I work with that is a Democrat and vote for Kamala Harris. But guess what? He's a friend. Do we break each other's balls all the time? Yeah, sure, we do. But we're still friends. Well, it's got to stop. It really has to stop. Because I have 2 young kids. Howard has kids. Obviously, my wife has kids. And, they're ours.
Well, I hope so.
That would be a different kind of episode.
Well, yeah. That'd be more poetry.
Well, today's age.
But no, I mean, when are we going to get it together? This country is in dire straits. And the monologue I was going to read was about our national debt. and have $35.3 trillion in debt. But I think we need to stick on this subject for now. And I had a nice little joke about Kamala Harris, but I'll save that for next week. So, Albert, what do you think?
Yeah, I think a few things. I think we need to take a moment and realize a few things. And I think this assassination attempt is either, if a foreign actor, an act of war, as being discussed, they're searching out, investigating to see if it's part of a continued operation, because it's so close to within each other from the last attempt. Or is this a lone wolf, another lone wolf, or is there more down the road? So they are looking into those avenues of investigation. That's what's being reported from law enforcement down there in Mar-a-Lago as of 2 hours ago. As far as I go here in New Jersey, I think it's part of a greater symptom. We live in a state where they have snack tax. They tax chips and sugars and other products they consider snacks, which is basically a tax on sugar. We have multiple taxes on our tobacco, taxes on our guns, taxes on just about everything. You know, we come from an ancestry where we rebelled against the King George, who taxed tobacco, tea, and whatnot in the tax stamp without our say-so, without representation. And now we have this under guise of maybe some kind of representation, but we're not electing people to go in and become King Georges, nor are we wanting people to become socialists. What we need is to be able to have some semblance of people in office that reflect their values of self-governance and self-idealization in the form that for myself, I exist in my own existence. And I may work with people around me as I do with Dave Gallo and his wife and whoever from time to time. And that community is what we consider a country. A nation, the United States of America, is a compilation of different countries. We all live within a local country. You know, like-minded folks working together, maybe not so like-minded, but, you know, we're farmers, we're factory workers, we're truck drivers, you know, and we have some religious value, whatever that might be. And we shop in the same stores. This is what makes us a country locally. I think we've lost that perspective. You know, at what point, you know, how many times does somebody get shot out before we say enough is enough? Or how many taxes do we take before we say enough is enough? Or maybe the measure, perhaps, should be that we recognize that we're all different, we contribute somehow. And we need to reach across, even if they're Democrats, and let them say, hey, look, it costs you $500 versus the $300. It costs you $7 for eggs instead of the $3.95, $2.95 that it used to. Coffee went up from $3.95 a tin can. Now it's up at $8 to $9, and I've seen some at $15 a tin can. I'm talking, you know, so we cannot continue to exist in a society where we got our freedom from the King George and we allowed to be retaken again by several King Georges. That's got to end. You know, I don't care if you like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I don't wish death upon them. I do not like them. I do not want them voted in. Not one little bit. Not good for the country, not whatsoever. That said, that's my opinion. And it's also my belief based on my wallet, based on my experiences and shared experiences with other people. These are things we need to address. Our words can be much more powerful than a bullet. And a bullet is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. We need to get past this divisiveness that exists in our country, because the mark of the Civil War, if that's what they're after, is that first they divide us by ideology, then they divide us by hatred, then they divide us by action to the point of no return. We have it within our powers to stop this, and we must take that action through our votes. And we also need to take that through our education and our ability to exist and with the kind of people we elect into office. Just because they're popular doesn't make them correct. And I want to put that out there. And today we live because of that. We have leaders who go out and say it's okay to go hunt people down in restaurants or go after them because they're a certain party. Why is it Republicans aren't saying that, but yet the Democrat leaders are saying that? Not the everyday citizens that call themselves Democrats, but the leadership. And this is the problem. We exist because of it. We need to overcome this. And it's not enough just to say, get out and vote. We need to take some kind of self-governance, self-responsibility. We've gotten away from that. A lot of the problems that we have today, no one wants to hear the hard truths, but we brought it upon ourselves by being lazy with our education and our vote and our political education. You know, maybe some of it's come too lately, but people were woken up. COVID did that. So I don't want to go on that job.
No.
You guys.
You're right about
I
everything you said.
just think we need to be Americans and rise above the fray.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
That's why it's called the United States of America. We should be united. And even our producer here, Damon. His name's Damon too, by the way. And my son's out there. His name's Damon too. I've never been in a room with 3 Damons before in my life. But no, even
I hope that was coherent. I didn't want to Sally.
he was telling me a story that it was just kind of wrong. I'm not going to talk about the story that he told me because it's his business. But it was political divide that was bad.
Well-
And it was a sad thing to hear.
Well, that's the problem. We allowed this political warfare to enter our businesses, our relationships. It used to be when you go to work, church, religion, politics stayed out. Football came in,
Absolutely.
politics and religion stayed out. Because the problem with work is that everybody's everything else. And the culture of work should be that bottom dollar that you're going to bring in to help maybe down the road get that pay raise. But if you're bickering politics and religion inside the workspace, not going to happen.
Yeah, and then like how many friends of all? We'll go into what you talked about too about the prices of groceries because we do all the food shopping.
I have the pictures.
I don't. She sends me food shopping. God, I'm there forever.
Yeah.
I'm calling her what aisles this.
I could go like 3 times to a food store. Now, one time, Dana going for a check.
Do you know how bad shirt tax is?
Well, look, let's talk about like a food bill in general. Like what I paid like 2 years ago, $180 for, our grocery bill.
Yeah.
Now I'm paying well over $300,
Yeah.
and I'm buying the same items.
Family of 4. I went from
Yeah.
150, 200 to 500.
Yeah. And you look at the stuff you have, and then in a few days, I got kids that like to snack and eat all the time. It's like the food's gone. So
It used to be you get a 3-liter soda for 99 cents,
Yep.
right? Say Shop Stop. Now it's $1. If you go to ShopRite, that same bottle that used to be $1, but ShopRite got rid of that brand, so now you're paying $2.98,
Exactly.
$2.98 a bottle.
Yeah, you're right.
So now both locations where coffee used to be $1.97 for a small can to $5.97 for the larger can.
I think
Now-
the
Yeah.
the big
Eight
ones.
Yeah. Now you're
They're a lot.
$15 depending on the brand, right? So it's more than 70% in some of these cases. So say Chips Ahoy, chocolate chip cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember they were like say $2 a bag, $2.50 worst case, right?
Yeah.
So now they're $5, $6, $7, right?
Yep.
Depending where you get it.
Everything.
Right. So, but the workaround used to be, right? I could buy flour, I could buy the eggs, I could buy the cornstarch, I could buy the baking powder, right, and milk, whatnot, right, and the chocolate chips. I can make my own cookies, brown sugar, right, make my own cookies.
That's right. You bake.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Just, you've yet to bring anything in yet.
Oh, come on.
We'll work on that. All right.
I like
so,
chocolate.
Yeah, I'm good. I got you. I got
North
you.
Jersey there.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'm the
chocolate.
North Jersey girl.
All right.
Actually,
So we'll work it out. So the initial investment in the baking goods could be a little bit costly in proportion to buying a bag of cookies, but that same amount, because it's a bag of flour,
Yes.
I can make the equivalent of 10 bags of purchased cookies and save myself $60. However, with this tax adding up into the investment to buy in, now it's equal to a bag when it used to be not so. But so now we're competing against self-production even within our own home. So how are we supposed to exist in our families trying to make the dollar stretch when they made that dollar gone?
Exactly.
Right? And this is the problem. And this is the problem with leadership. We're electing people based on how popular it can be, based on how much they put into the coffers of certain people.
They just don't like Donald Trump's personality. That's
This goes beyond.
It's
This
not
goes
no
far
policy.
beyond Trump.
But it's
This
not
was
no
going on
policy.
before them.
well, it was
Yeah, it is. But if you look at the way that people who live in the United States now, the way what they admire and what their goals are. It's Hollywood. You have all these shows like the Kardashians, and you have all these pop stars and stuff like that. And of course, they make money. They're talented. They are. I'm really talented Kardashians, but
God bless him.
yeah, God bless them though. But even like Taylor Swift, she just endorsed Mile Islanders. Now,
It's all right.
is she talented? Yeah, sure. But it's just, but a lot of people look at with social media, everything at your fingertips, and you see all this stuff coming at you, and then you get the news media lying to you the whole time, mainstream media anyway,
Right.
lie to you, but everyone wants to be like a rock star. They want to be this, that, and they listen to people that have nothing to do with politics. It was such a big deal that Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. It was all over the news. That's all was covered. All over the news. I guarantee it will have more news coverage than another assassination attempt.
Absolutely.
See,
Guarantee you.
Taylor Swift endorsement meant more to you than me, because I wasn't even going to bring it up.
No, I want to bring it up because it's like this. You know, I'm a carpenter, but I'm not a good plumber. You know, so if I have plumbing goes wrong with my house, I'm going to call a guy. I'll call a plumber. My father-in-law, God rest his soul, was a plumber. I used to be able to call him, but I would call a plumber.
I mean,
See, I'm a carpenter. I can do a lot of other things. Electrical plumbing.
You know how much more it costs?
I'm just
Forget
saying
about it.
I'm just
You got
saying.
tools. Your dad taught you how to use the tool.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
plumbing because I'm not the greatest at it. You know, I'm jack of all trades, master of none.
Buy them
But-
people. Buy them people. Company book 1, 2, 3.
But if if you were to call plumber
Mhm.
and he came and said, "Oh yeah, you know what? You got to this is clogged. You got to replace this trap. This fall's and broken. This and that." And the Tower Swift shows up and says, "Oh no, I think it's this."
I would say, yeah, I
it's
think
like-
that's great, but
Yeah,
just
no,
go with the plumber
yeah,
who knows what he's
It's like,
doing.
shut up.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you.
I
You don't know what
know.
you're talking about.
But-
That's why I don't know what her endorsement of Kamala Harris means. Shit.
Not all right. God bless. First of all, let me just say this. God bless the plumber. There are problems you need a plumber for. I ain't gonna say. That said, 9 out of 10 plumbing issues can be fixed by yourself.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, listen, I just use that. I
hate spending money.
I can fix some plumbing, but when
I spend too much money.
Put in a hot water. Oh, you want to go there? You want to talk about the inflation, how much it costs in the store?
Shit in my closet.
It's like Macy's walking in there. And that's another thing I hadn't heard the joke. I abandoned my monologue.
Careful, she's next to you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lie. Like you walk into my closet and Damon has about like this little area.
Yeah,
That whole thing is mine.
See, I have, my wife deals with the inside. I have the garage outside. I'm it. Like, I like my fires. I like my camp things. I like chilling out, with my whiskey, my cigars, whatever. Right? I'm happy. Give me my campfire, I'm good. Right? I spend most of my time outside. I do. Right? I like being on the stars. That's how I came up. But,
But back to those.
Here's the place. It's incredible. Holy mother of God.
It's unbelievable. And I mean, I make decent money, and I do. And it's enough that should be able to pay for my family. But I struggle to pay my mortgage. No, I mean, she goes to the food store and buys stuff, and and
He's like, what the heck you spend?
I'm like, how much did you spend?
And you look to see, it's regular food.
You know
It's
what?
your meats, it's your milks, it's your bread, it's eggs.
I want to extend my weekly food cast. Maybe we can include a segment here, because I know when you go buy chickens at the store, right? Get the fat breast, right? Big fat juicy breast, because you can cut them into threes, and so 1 equals 3. So if you get 2 and you get a 4-pack, 2 is 1 dinner. And then keep the other 2 frozen, and because that's 6 strips right there. And then,
That's true.
right, and then plus the cutlet that's attached to the breast, so you cut that cutlet off. Now you got
Right.
chicken fingers or a different kind of chicken for some kind of stir fry later on. So you really do 4. So you got 4 meals out of that puppy.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. I'm not, and everyone should be frivolous. Don't waste food or anything like that, and get the best deals for everything. But it shouldn't be the way it is today.
No.
Not for the United States of America, not the greatest country on earth. If you want to overspend on something, then that's your fault. And you overspend on
Not just like
Okay, look, we all go overextend on steak.
No, yeah.
Forgive her.
But
But
we shouldn't.
like it's food. You know what I mean?
We should be comfortable. If you get up every day, you go to work and you bust your ass, go to work every day.
Honest job.
Yeah, honest job, honest day's pay.
Exactly.
That's the American dream. You go to work. I don't care how hard I work. It doesn't bother me. I'll go to work and I'll work hard, and I get good. I'm good at my job, and I want to come home, and I want to spend time with my kids, eat dinner, not worry about paying my mortgage, not worry about the electrical going up, not worry about car insurance. By the way, it's up 55%. 55%.
Homeowners insurance.
Fertilizer is up 42%.
Yeah.
42%. And that's growing our crops.
Yeah.
Fertilizer. I mean, up 42%. And the Democrats don't see a problem
What
with
kind of fertilizer are you buying?
it. I'm not buying it. It was just stat that I read.
Yeah.
For farmers. It's up.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
you're even
you're
saying the
right.
homeowners insurance is
No.
going to be
No, I-
skyrocketing.
Yeah, I misunderstood.
No, I just buy regular dirt at Home Depot and have a
Oh,
little garden.
God.
I'm not a farmer.
One of my first jobs on a farm, I'll have to teach you which road.
All right.
That's not what you think. It's a way of doing dirt and soils that makes them healthy. It's something now, something then, and something after, and it keeps things growing.
Yeah, well, I tried all through the winter. I tried, well, after I'm done growing my tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that, I'll use the eggshells in there, try to do a little compost. And whatever I have.
Yeah, and you want to do peat moss, right? Because that's water retention actually, and it'll also send it out.
Yeah, we can really get off topic on this show. I'll tell you that.
It's part of the overall arc. It's part of the overall arc that we're screwed. And we
It's
want to
like
get
interest
unscrewed.
rates.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have to start growing their own food.
I'm tired of
Because
this.
it's too expensive to buy food. I mean, it really
It
is.
is.
I mean,
Eating out, like just say, like Friday night, we went and just ordered stuff from a local pizza shop, chicken fingers and fries. They even got a buffalo chicken cheesesteak. I got a regular cheesesteak. It was $55.
yeah.
I mean, like $55 for, and my kids split the chicken fingers and fries. Not even like they had two separate meals. There was like 3 little meals.
Look at McDonald's.
You know?
McDonald's used to cost me $15 for a family of 4. Now I'm paying $45. For
It's
a
just
family.
that.
Yeah, what happened to the dollar?
Same
Oh,
amount.
there is no dollar.
Same stuff.
There is.
Same stuff, unchanged, different price.
Yeah.
Which gets me to another question. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know the answer on this. A lot of people do. Maybe a lot of it's oil cost. And that's where it starts because the prices start going up then when Joe Biden started killing the oil. 20 years ago, things were cheaper, right? There was a process involved in getting eggs to the store and having chickens lay eggs and getting those and harvesting, right? There was a process. There was a process of making flour. There was a process of making bread. There was a process in getting meat butchered, right? Those processes have not changed, but yet we're paying almost 900% more than we were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Well,
They're using the same process. What's changed?
I'll tell you.
Oil cost,
Exactly.
right?
A lot.
Inflation,
Plus the
offshoring, leadership.
Yes. No, well, think about it. Biden gets in, he shuts down the
Keystone.
Keystone Pipeline.
Yep.
Right away. And then he greenlets the what was it?
And that was where a lot of union jobs.
The
by the way.
Nord Stream pipeline.
Yeah.
A lot of people got laid off.
Yeah.
Thousands of people got laid
I
off.
knew people working there.
Yeah. And then he greenlights the Nord Stream pipeline, and then we're buying oil from Russia. Like I might have said on the last
Never
podcast
happened.
one or the other one before, but we're buying our oil from Russia after we shut down our own oil.
Well, what did Trump say? He gets back in. Drill, baby, drill.
And now we're
Trump said.
yeah, no, but we're funding the Ukraine.
Ah.
We're giving them money, so we're paying for both sides of the war.
We was frustrating.
You know,
But it's great. He gets elected, but he needs people that are going to be there to support him, right?
Yeah.
Right. Problem is, we got a bunch of people in Congress, got a bunch of people in Senate, we got a bunch of people running in different places. We need
Yeah.
to get them in, right? Has to happen. Something's better than somebody else, right? But
Exactly.
but the powers that be keep choosing people who have no freaking clue about what's going on.
Yeah,
None
exactly.
whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
I spent my career testing oil, working with oil, everything, fuel, energy, shipping, internet, right? How come there's everyone there has got a college degree, but they don't know jack?
Did you
all
get
right?
oil cancer like Biden did? No, anybody said.
No.
What did he say?
Remember said yeah, get oil cancer.
So-
you see the oil over a windshield.
I worked at 29 TEP, and we went 50 TEP, right? One deals with diesel lubricants, the other one deals with steam lubricants, right? I dealt with boiler fuel operations and testing and certification, right? For on-rep, unwrap, and usage, and as well as getting rid of. We dealt with aviation, GP4, GP5, one's Hilo, and the other one is aircraft, right? So there's a lot of things that go into that, right? There's quality tests. You spend the hell out of these things. That's a centrifugal separator, purifier, right? You go through all that. You want to check for cloudiness. You want to check for cyclists. There's a magnet test. There's a thermal test. There's a chemical test. There's a flame test on fuels, right? There's a plan point you got to worry about. There's all these things that go into it, and we and it also takes time. You put a ship of vessels coming in. It doesn't matter if it's cargo or oil or something else, right? They have a bunch of paperwork that has to be secured. It has to be done before they leave, by the time they arrive. The pilot has to be lined up. All this stuff has to be done on a schedule. It's clockwork with verification, all in place, right? Because it costs like somewhere between $1.5 million to almost $2 million a day just to keep shit at anchor, right? And that price goes up sure. So the name of the game is get it in, get it off, get it out, or get it on, get it out, right? Because it costs money. So
I got you.
so when we interrupt that process, prices are going to go up
Absolutely.
because they're inherently going up everywhere in the system,
You're right.
right?
And
But we're electing people who have no clue about the system.
well, we're electing people, I think, that are against this. Now, that was the last word because we got to move our next
Yeah.
segment. But everything, this administration, everything that they've done have caused this inflation, caused insurance premiums to go up.
Destroyed the country. I mean,
You
everything
can't-
they have destroyed the
I
country.
can't name one good thing that they've done. Not one.
Not one.
Not one. I mean, if you look at it, wide open borders. I mean, you look at well, we'll still talk about the schools in the next segment and stuff like that, and then we'll go to local and state stuff.
Well, before you say your thing, I just want to put another example before we go too far because this will tie in. All right. So we talk about American made. All right. There's a lot of American made stuff. Right. Got that American logo. Good as we rock. I'm all for it. But there's also a lot of things being called American made, even though they're not. But just because they're here, they're being called American made. For instance, Kawasaki. Do you realize that half that stuff they're being said, hey, it's made in America, therefore it's good, but in reality that money's going offshore back to Japan, Kyoto, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Out in Kansas, they got this huge factory, right? Multiple buildings, you can fit football fields inside these buildings. One of them deals with trains, another one deals with vehicle recreation, your recreation vehicles, another one deals with the tools, and the other one's miscellaneous. All that stuff, that's Kawasaki labeled, made here, that's sold here in America, is also made in Kansas, right? A lot of people don't understand this. So, and they say, yeah, made in America. It's not. A lot of the parts that come from there, like the hull parts, the frame parts, certain pure
Parts. It might be-
components, they're coming from
sampled.
Japan. We assemble them,
here. Yeah.
right? We're not really making
It
everything.
happens with Chevy too.
Right, but I'm getting to the point, okay? They're shipping. We're losing our manufacturing war. Not because of that. It contributes, but not because of that alone. There's something called a manufacturing ecosystem, okay? The way it works is they do it in China. They have whole regions that do nothing but one thing.
All right, this thing sounds like it's going to be long.
No, it's gonna be quick. All right. And this is where we get our butts kicked. Okay. So yes, we both make things. Yes, we both transport things. But what's different is our system's designed. Hey, if we find a problem in the manufacturing process, we have to send it out to the guy who designed it or the guy who's going to investigate or make the repairs. And sometimes they're in another country. What they're doing is everything's within a 5-minute drive. The designer, the inventor, the manufacturing, the prototyping, they're all between 5 minutes and 30 minutes, even to their distribution hub, right? All between 5 and 30 minutes. We need to be doing that here, and we need to be doing those newer technologies here at first.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
You go, fire.
But, I just wanted to say what I was saying. The cost and the stress on the American economy is because of open borders. If you look at it, we'll go into the school things as well when we'll go to the next segment. But how much do you think it costs? We're spending $554 billion, I think, last year on legal immigration, housing them, feeding them.
54 billion.
That was it? 554 billion?
No, 54 big. That's the last number I saw.
No. I'm talking about since the administration. I say New York, but since this administration went, that's
Yeah.
about it's been. But I mean, like I said before, my insurance premium went up 6% in January. Everyone's went up.
Yeah, even your dental.
Yeah,
Our dental is not as nowhere near as good as
They're,
it was.
they're immigrants. They're people.
Yep.
They get sick. They have babies. Who's paying for it?
And when the illegals have their kids get sick, they take them right to the emergency room.
Which costs even more money.
Yes.
Correct. They're taking over schools. They're taking over towns. I mean, we look at Springfield, Ohio. And how do you add 20,000? In the debate too, I want to talk about the debate a little bit, but at this point, after the assassination, I don't even care about it. But Trump brought up they're eating pets and stuff like that. But what he should have said was, the town of 60,000 people just had an influx of 20,000 Haitian immigrants. How's that sustainable? How do you take care of your citizens when you have that, and they're getting everything for free, and they're going to your schools? It's a mess. It's another thing that we could talk about in another segment.
Which will tie into transportation.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there. I mean, how it's going, because this whole segment was going to be on the $35.3 trillion debt that we're in, but that changed today. So we're going to move on to our next segment. So we'll take a quick break for a commercial from our sponsor.
Since the beginning of time, all living creatures rely on the sun's source of natural light to grow and to help promote overall wellness. We are all light beings. The patches are all natural and drug-free that uses the body's own natural light to help promote general health and wellness. How it works. Simply place the patch on specific points on your body and where the patch is placed on your skin. It reflects back into the body when it's tapped into its own flow of natural energy, which in turn creates the GHK-Cu copper peptide, which rejuvenates your cells and gives you a more younger, healthier you.
I will give you the local shore news about some events, about candidates that are running for election or re-election. So we have in Cherry Hill, it's Constitution Week. So Adler and Russo will be having an event to celebrate the Constitution, located at the Mechanical Brewery, 9 Carina Boulevard in Cherry Hill. That's from 6 to 9. The cost is $40 per person or $75 per couple. It's hosted by Barry Sable. He's a special guest, and also Camden County Commissioner candidate Danielle Barry. Copies of the Pocket Constitution will be distributed to all guests. Additional local events, Camden County Chairwoman Kimberly Stewart. She has an event called the Camden County Republican Fall Dinner. That is this Thursday, September 19th at 6 p.m. at the Trump National Golf Club, 500 West Branch Avenue, Pine Hill, New Jersey. There are special guests there as well. Senator Michael Testa, U.S. Senate candidate Curtis Bashaw, Jack Chiarelli, and Bill Spady is invited. I'm not sure if he's definitely attending, but committee members, non-committee members are $125 a piece. A table of 10 is $1,000. So RSVP to the cgop@gmail.com. Also, there's a fundraiser for CD1 candidate Teddy Lydell at Rio Italian Grill, 901 Haddonfield Road, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That's $75 per person or $140 per couple, and that is on Saturday, September 21st at 12:30.
Must have listened to my first podcast.
Yes. So
So-
Teddy is having
Event, buddy, start raising money.
Come out and support Teddy. Also Brooklawn, which is also Camden County Republican Committee. They are having a beef and beer fundraiser. The sponsor is Jennifer Exler for Camden County Clerk, Donald J. Smith for Camden County Commissioner, and Brittany Henry for Brooklawn Council. That is on the 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. or 6 to 8 p.m. So there's 2 seating times at the Gloucester City American Legion at Atlantic Street and Cumberland Street. And that is in Gloucester City, New Jersey, $35 per person. Then over to the Gloucester County events. So Sheriff Sammons and Gloucester County Commissioner Nick DeSilvia are having an event with guest speaker Kellyanne Conway. And that is, let me just double check. It's
24th.
Yeah, you have to RSVP to Samantha Sammons by the 24th. Her phone number is 856-535-7113. And the cost is $150 per person. VIP reception is $300 per person. An organization table of 10 is $1,000. But I want to give you the location because we missed that one, so just bear with me.
All right, well, then you guys can look it up.
You can look it up.
You can look it up if you want to.
But come support if you want to go. It's in Gloucester County. I apologize for that.
So you want to go into some stuff about the schools, about the minors, and we're talking about earlier.
Yeah. So
No, I got a couple other candidates that we're worried about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry, Albert. Yes, Albert has some candidates as well that are having events
All right.
in Jersey.
Tomorrow night, September 16th at Dooney's. I would like everyone to go and dine and donate for Hutchins, Fitch, and Smith. Their time for change. Hutchins is running for mayor. And these are good people who want to control budget spending and get common sense governance back. And we need these people in office. Also, Carmen Bucco, CD10 special election kicks off September 18th. Looking for volunteers to come help do last minute door knocking, help drive out that vote. You can contact his campaign or contact this show, and we'll direct you proper. So, or you can call 848-326-0207, and we'll get you contact with the right people to make that happen. We need to get that vote in, because if he gets in that seat, he'll become the incumbent for November. That's a special election because of the person that died in April, God bless him. But we got this battle before us, and no matter what we think about people, we go with who we have on deck, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this home, because we need to flip New Jersey. Right? We cannot continue to exist in the Commissar Murphy state. We cannot have a Corzine sleep state or any of these other problems. Well, we need to get control of our systems back, our state back, and our way of life, and we need to get everybody on deck, and or as many. But we're going to have to do something called, which we did in fire service once it became too big or needed more help. It's mutual aid. So we're going to do this as a mutual aid election door knocking event. So call that number, and we'll get this hooked up. Let's get it done for the 18th. That's our first battle. And tomorrow night, gotta donate. Doonies. Get it done.
All right.
What do you have about the schools?
So the local New Jersey citizens are aware of what's going on in our sanctuary state. As per the Shore News Network, New Jersey orders school districts to cease identification process of migrant children and inadvertently green lighting school choice. Migrant students will not be required to show proof of age, residency, or citizenship status to enroll in public schools in New Jersey. This means that a migrant child can attend any school in the state without showing any forms of identification or proving that where they live. Even if they live in that district, they don't have to prove that. Local school districts will now be forced to take in a migrant children without knowing for certain who they are. According to Shore News Network, a memorandum dated August 7th, 2024, Assistant Commissioner Kathy Ealing, could be saying her name wrong, informed local educational agencies that schools should no longer ask for social security numbers, birth certificates, none of those information is no sensitive information when enrolling students. So they don't have to provide anything that we always have to provide, or we have to show proof of address, whether it's utility bills that we live in that. Yes, we do.
So,
I'm not sure why they don't have to.
Provide vaccination
Yep.
cards.
the most biggest problem that we have right now, right? 320,000 children missing from the borders under Kamala and Joe Biden. So now we don't have documentation for these kids. So how do they know the correct people are picking these kids up?
No, I mean, when I have to we have to be there to get
Sibling arguments.
on the bus. We pick them up from school. We have to show identification, or
Exactly.
at least they're old
So
enough now to say, "Hey, that's my dad." But we had to show identification. We had to be there. It couldn't just be anybody picking them up. But the thing is, I mean, what the amount of money we pay in taxes,
Yeah,
and
our property taxes.
that goes towards these public schools that
Yeah.
our kids go to, and then you have and again back to the blown out spending and wasting taxpayer dollars. I'm sorry that these kids deserve to be educated. They deserve to have a life. Yeah, but I mean, not taking over my kid's life.
No,
Right? I mean, come in properly, and I'm okay with it. Come in properly, get a job, and then you pay tax.
but that's what Trump says. He's for legal immigration.
Yeah.
And people
I know.
keep forgetting that. Legal immigration. Coming to this country legally.
That's right.
we have a right to deny people and accept people.
Exactly.
A country without a border is not a border. It's not a country.
But when I,
It's bankrupting our country.
Okay.
yeah,
But-
and even like when enrolling kids in school, when we moved to West Stafford, I didn't have my driver's license, didn't say that yet, because you have to wait months because of COVID, and it still had that. That was 2021. So I had to show proof of our title for our house. I'd have to go through all this paperwork to say, hey, I'm a resident of West Stafford to register my kids. But now they don't have to do anything. They just come and say, hey, I want to go to school here.
Okay,
You know?
okay,
It's
so
ridiculous.
but okay, we need to make framed arguments that are going to work. Okay, those are emotive arguments, and I agree with them. Those sentiments, I agree. But what do we have to back any of this up? Okay, Title 8. Title 8 is the immigration law, right? If you ever read it, Title 8, Section 1138, right, says any person within criminalization within the last 5 years in their source country, home country, cannot come here into the United States. If they're not being vetted, we don't know that. This is why we need to be able to vet or have the right to accept or deny people, right? Title 18, Title 19. Title 18 gives the authority and the responsibility to elected officials who are managing this and people appointed to do their job. Title
Right.
19's ramifications. Mary Elkis, all these guys, ain't doing jack. They're in violation. of those very titles, if they're not doing Title VIII, if they're not executing Title VIII at the border through their fiduciary Title 18 and 19, charge them. Dismiss and charge. It's very simple. Dereliction of duty, right? It exists in all of those statutes. It's a dereliction of duty. It's a chargeable criminal offense. Ought to happen. If you want to charge them criminally, just fire them. They're making a big hoo-ha about a lot of things, trying to keep people, trying to get rid of them. The statute's there. All you have to do is demonstrate legally. You do have to demonstrate what the violation or what the inaction or what the dereliction is. Once you do that, dismiss them. Very simple.
Listen, like I said before, I think this is an intentional attack on our country. It is. But like a country without borders is not a country. And what all the way from what they teach in schools, indoctrinating our children. A lot of kids that go to college. College is a sham right now. And they're teaching kids not to have kids. Talk about the climate crisis and all that stuff. So there's a lot of Generation Z, whatever it is, they don't want to have kids because that's what they're taught, not to have kids. So they're not having children. They're not birthing Americans. Let's put it that way. But we're allowing all these people coming into our country. It's like the Great Reset, and that's what's going on. And that's why abortion is so big. So Democrats push abortion so big, up to the month, 9 months. And then they let, they fact checked Trump on it, which he was right. Because Tim Walz, in his state alone, 8 children were born alive. They're born alive after a failed botched abortion. And what they did was make the child comfortable, the baby comfortable till it died. Yeah. So yes, so Trump was right in it, and they fact checked and said, no, it's not legal anywhere in any state. Well,
it happened.
It happened. It happened.
So,
and they didn't fact check it. Nope.
All right, so let's get real. Let's get, all right, now we get cold-hearted with facts. Now you're in my territory.
Yeah, that's your
okay. So, but this is the reality. Since they started Roe v. Wade, since they did Planned Parenthood, some 65 million children have been aborted. Okay? That's 65 million people in the United States have lost. Okay?
Right.
All right. One of the unspoken truths that they have in their worlds, because I've spoken with some people, one of the reasons that they're doing this is because they realize it's screwed up. We are losing people. We don't have enough people. So they're bringing this in to replace 65 million people. That's their goal. All right? And at the same time, they're hoping that these people are going to vote for them and get the socialist control that they want. What they fail to realize is that a lot of these people, if you speak with the immigrants, because I have, right? I've spoken with immigrants from Brazil, from Venezuela, Colombia, Uruguay. I've spoken with people who are Sikhs who came from India, who are trying to come here legally, and they're paying $5,000 and tens of thousands of dollars to go through the legal process to become Americans. And they're pissed because you got people who are jumping ahead of them and not having
anybody. Of course, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that they're not counting on, which we should use and avail ourselves, is the fact a lot of them are God, love, and fear and vote. Right. So that means they realize and they see what's going on. They're leaving a country that's socialist, communist, or anything other than. Right, and they know. And when you speak to them, they're saying, no, you cannot have those people. Like they need somebody like Trump in because they escape those because they want our values. They don't want the values. They're not trying to run the values that they ran from.
Exactly.
Right. So they're not getting the quality of type of immigrants that they were hoping for. So they're getting them from other places. But the problem is, at the same time, there's this huge influx of cartel and super gangs that are coming in here and causing harm. Look at Michigan, where they're going in and taking over hotels, buildings, casinos. The hotel in Texas, the city, yeah, right. So all that's going on. We cannot have this inside our country, and I cannot express this enough. And I'm going to put a military spin on this. And for those within sound of my voice, if you have ears into Trump, this has to be said. Okay, on our side of the border, we have cartel people operating with 50 cal mounted weapons on vehicles. Okay, those are standoff weapons. That requires either A, getting people killed trying to get up close, which violates the standoff rule, or we can missile them. All right, because we use a standoff for standoff. That's how you do that, and this saves lives because you're destroying an enemy combat unit. A lot of people may argue we cannot use that kind of ordnance inside our own land, where in fact precedents been set by Abraham Lincoln via the Civil War. Right, so yes, we can. That's not unchallenged. So going with that, if a group of body comes in and acts as a military unit, they're therefore an enemy army. Okay, the police, local law enforcement, they're not set up, they're not trained, and they're not hired to deal with that. They cannot. Right now, I'm not in favor of risking military personnel on a suicide mission to go in front of a 50 cal. I'd rather much use a Tomahawk or a Cruise and just take out that unit location. Right, they're an enemy unit inside operating on our borders. We need to control our borders. We should be free from this end to that end and from the north to south, east to west. We should not have interruption or impediment of traffic. All right, we should not have traffic zones. Cartels are trafficking human beings. We already have the 13th Amendment that people cannot be owned. They're doing that. They're enemies of mankind. They ought to be treated as such as an enemy invading army, and they ought to be used by our military to go search and destroy in that capacity. And that's completely within law. Let us not forget, constitutionally, within the articles, are elected or duty bound to protect both our borders and our people from harm. Okay, they are not doing that. Part of that is within that scope. It may be a long answer, but there's a lot of information that goes in it that gives you support to make those operations occur.
And this is
Within
why,
law.
and this is why I'm friends with Albert. Because I do not want to make an enemy out of this man.
No, I'll come with it. I'll come with it. I'll be the very essence of God's hand. Absolutely.
But Heather was reading earlier. The whole point is we pay a lot of taxes in New Jersey.
Absolutely.
So anyone watching this that doesn't live in New Jersey,
We are one of the
I
highest.
think we're the highest tax state.
We're in the top 5 for sure.
And the fact that we pay such high taxes
Yeah.
for our children to go
Yeah.
to school, and now we're paying for other people's children to go to school. We're paying for other illegal immigrants to be here, and we're struggling ourselves. I'm a big fan of America First. I mean, and America has to come first. And I don't mind helping other people out, but I always tell people one thing: you cannot help someone else before you help yourself.
Exactly.
If you're in bad shape, you don't have the ability to help someone else. So you have to have your shit in order in order to help someone else. But our shit is not in order.
Nope.
Yeah, can I give an example now? I got so much data.
Okay, well, I want to go on all the data, so we got to go on the next segment. And I wanted to say, by the way, our producer is so cool. He just crawled under the table and I don't know if you saw that. I don't know. He snuffs under a hand and he bottle of water. So.
All right. So,
I had to tell.
so this is how bad Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are. All right, because we need the data. We need to make the arguments. In 2022, Joe Biden bought a quarter, 25% of available food grain out of Ukraine. Okay, according to DNC data, which I pulled from their own stuff, because I like using the enemy's information against them. All right, it's their own shit. 9 million plus U.S. children went hungry that year. So he was able to come up with money to get 25% available food grains to distribute amongst third world nations. All right, Africa, Asian countries, Middle East, right? But he let 9 million U.S. children go hungry instead. So where's the moral ground here? I would say the moral ground's lost. You know,
Exactly.
there's examples like this. It's in their own data. Okay, on their education front during COVID, Black communities suffered the most educational loss. They still have not recovered. It is on their data set. Also on the Board of Education, it's on their data. I pulled the graphs from there. Okay, so I'll end there. There's more. So we can go through those data sets. It's damning.
All right.
Did you know you get $238 million just for internal training and trips and hotels at the Board of Education? There's a $70 billion funding grant, right? Well, they get an additional $230-something million for internal stuff that could be going towards frontline education and is not.
All right. So with that, we're gonna do another ad from our sponsor, and then move on to the next segment after.
Time, all living creatures rely on the sun source of natural light to grow and to help promote overall wellness. We are all light beings. The patches are all natural and drug-free that uses the body's own natural light to help promote general health and wellness. How it works: simply place the patch on specific points on your body and where the patch is placed on your skin. It reflects back into the body when it's tapped into its own flow of natural energy, which in turn creates the GHK-Cu copper peptide, which rejuvenates your cells and gives you a more younger, healthier you.
our next segment, I'm so excited to do this one. And I have to
You're still
I am. This is the man, the myth, the the legend, Steve. Sorry, the Tank Kush Award loser of the week. You know, Steve, I heard you on former Senator Ed Durr's radio show yesterday, and you said no one on Facebook follows you. Well, what do you think, David?
I think we're going to help them out.
Yeah.
We're here to make you famous,
Yeah,
buddy.
we're here to make you
So we're going
famous.
to give your tank award out to the loser of the week.
Loser.
Loser every week. Your tank award's going out there. Why is it called the tank award?
Because everything he touches turns to shit when he runs a campaign, and he hates them. Hates campaigns.
Okay.
That's what he does.
So loser.
So our loser of the week, we have two losers, is Dave Muir and Lindsay Davis, the ABC moderators for the debate. And how biased and how they only I'll use that term loosely, fact-checked Trump because a lot of their facts weren't facts. And how they were just pretty much handed that debate to Kamala. And Lindsay Davis is her sorority sister, her friend, by the way, which to me, that's a conflict of interest. She shouldn't even been moderating that
She
debate.
should have been. You know where she was when Stevie Netanyahu was down here and she
She was at a party, right? A sorority party?
in California at her sorority party with her friend.
Yeah.
The moderator. I mean, how does that happen? You know,
Yeah. How does that happen? How do you let any in the real world? That would be a conflict of interest, and you wouldn't be doing that at all.
You know, the people calling for investigation into that.
They should.
And
yeah,
You absolutely should. They were so biased.
see their emails.
It was a disgrace.
that's like you and me arguing in front of your mom. Who's on the side? So, but
But that's why these two losers got the Steve the Tank Kush Award. That's the man, the myth, the legend.
Joe, buddy. Hey,
Steve,
listen, you can come pick one up. I got an extra one for you. I keep telling you that.
I was in gift yesterday.
Well, to make it true, she had to lose.
Well,
You committed to it now.
so